You have a financial ceiling and it controls you 98% of the time throughout the day. So no matter how hard you try, you cannot outperform it. In this session, I want to share with you what your financial ceiling is, what is it made of, what is it truly made of, and most importantly, how to smash it to go for your first or next million with the speed of light. So when I switched from working in corporate to having my own business, to starting my own business, I, like many other entrepreneurs, was finding the right strategy, was finding the perfect strategy. I was looking for that one method, that one process that gave me the result that I really want. And in search of that strategy, I kept on strategy hopping. So I went on the first strategy and saw it not working. Then went on the second one. By the time I was on the third or fourth one, I was so used to of failing strategies that I would just assume that this strategy would fail. And while I was executing, I would already start hunting for the next one, already start looking for the next one. So I was prepared for none of these strategies to work. But there was still a part of me who was constantly looking for the next strategy until I stumbled on this information and it completely changed my life. And what I'm going to share with you, it helped me receive my annual income within a month, within 3 months of implementing this information. So this is really powerful. If you are currently looking for a strategy or thinking, what am I missing? I don't understand what is missing. Why am I not able to break through the ceiling? You are probably hitting an income glass ceiling. And because this glass ceiling is invisible, it is very hard to put your finger on it. But if you have tried the strategies, if you are filling up your calendar, working more, trying different things, and it's not working, 99% it's your income ceiling. So you really want to pay a lot of attention. So the first question is, what is your income ceiling? What is it? Like, what is this threshold, right? So you are programmed, you are wired from the time you were 7 years old. And it really started from the day you came on this planet, even before when you were in your mother's womb. But by the time you were 7 years old, that programming started to solidify. It started to take a shape. It started to fixate on something, right? And at that time, whatever the money situation was, you picked that up. You picked up those ideas, those beliefs, that amount of money to be normal. So not too long ago, I was watching Grant Cardone, who is the property guru. He was talking to his daughter, right, in one of the podcasts. And they were talking about the fact that she would love to always have a private jet. And he was telling her all the cost associated with the private jet. And what she was talking to her dad about was the fact that if I want to keep the private jet, how many millions would it cost to run? How many millions would it cost to keep, and all of that? And one thing that really struck out for me was that from that age, she's not talking about hundreds. She's not talking about thousands. She's talking about millions. And she has growing up, she has seen millions. So that is normal for her. That has been normalized for her. So it's in her pattern and program to go and create that kind of wealth because that's normal. Now, not that she's extraordinarily intelligent or she has got something what other people haven't, or she's more educated. In fact, she's homeschooled and she didn't go through that traditional schooling, and God knows what her plan is for university. But the fact is that she has grown around those conversations where millions are normal. So the question, which to really help you understand your money ceiling, your income ceiling, is that what was normal for you when you were growing up? For most of us who don't come from a lot of money, the feeling of just enough was normal. And that also came with the fear of money running out, or that also came with the guilt or constant worry, or sometimes some of us experience fights or domestic issues because of money. Some of us experience shame. So what was your money experience growing up, and how did it make you feel, right? If there was this constant thought that money would run out. So a lot of my clients come to me and tell me that there was sufficient money in our family. There was never a problem of lack of money, but the problem was that they always feared money running out. So I still feel that fear, right? Or there could be that you were always told it's very hard to get by, it's very hard to earn, or there were some kind of problems or issues. So first you want to really understand is that growing up, what was normal for you? Your money ceiling, which has been normalized for you, is like a language. No matter what language you speak right now, it's easy for you. But if you ask somebody, let's say somebody speaks Chinese, right? And I try to learn Chinese, and I speak English and my native language, but I try to learn Chinese. I would really find it hard because I would think it's a very difficult language. But somebody growing up in China and being exposed to that language would think, I just talk, I don't even think about it. So you are subconsciously programmed to live and operate with a certain frequency of money. And that frequency was just a number. It had nothing to do with your worth, nothing to do with money's lack or any of that. It was just a number. And that number could have been millions, that number could have been billions, and that number could have been anything. Now, a lot of people think that when my life will be perfect, when I'll have more time, when I will have less responsibilities, or when I will have favorable circumstances, I will go for my dreams or I will attract more money, right? But what you want to understand is that it's your pattern and program. So it doesn't matter what the circumstances are, you will always attract what you're programmed to attract, okay? So for a lot of times, what happens is, and I've experienced this personally, I have gone through very, very difficult times in my personal life, but manifested the most amount of money or had my highest cash months. So it is a pattern and program versus the circumstance. Like when you wake up in the morning, there are certain things that you do no matter what. So you go and brush your teeth. You don't have to say, oh my God, can I have an accountability partner who can remind me to brush my teeth? Oh, I for some people, the first thing they do is they drink coffee, or for some people, they check their phone. So whatever your program and pattern is, whatever, for some people, they go for a run. And that's so normal for them. They cannot imagine not doing that. So the question is, what can you not imagine in your life not experiencing? What is so normal? What seems so safe and normal and a safe and known territory is your money frequency. And a lot of people talk about this concept of safety, right? So when you are currently in your money frequency and ceiling, you feel safe because it's known. Now you might say, you know what, I really want more money and I really would desire it. And what do you mean that I feel safe? Like when I heard this concept of safety for the first time, I was really annoyed. And I said, what do you mean safety? Of course I would feel safe with a lot of money, but the point is that it is an unknown territory. Having the feeling of having the money of that you can spend and there could be more than enough and you don't even know what to do with, it is an unknown territory in the beginning, right? Until I teach you all the method which I'm teaching you now, and you start to embody that. But I remember when I started talking about this idea that having more money than you know what to do with, I got a lot of backlash from a lot of people on the internet, and they said, why do you talk about this? It doesn't exist. This idea doesn't exist that you can have more money than you know what to do with. And I said, here you go. Here is your limitation. So for some people, it doesn't even exist. It's like, why you are telling people that they can go to the moon when it's so hard, when it's not possible for them, right? So first thing is to realize what is normal for you right now, what and how it connects to your experience of growing up when your money frequency was created, when this ceiling was built. The second thing that you really want to understand is that you have to uncover your money frequency, what it's made of. Once you understand how it's created, you have to understand what is it, because you cannot change it until you know what it is. And there are few layers, like, peeling of the onion layers when you change your money frequency. The first layer is you say, okay, what is it in numbers? There is a specific amount of money that you attract every single month. And if you attract more than that, either your car breaks down, something happens, or you start to sabotage and the next month you go back on the same number, or something. Or for some people it's like a range, right? It's like their maximum and minimum, so they cannot imagine having less than that, and they cannot imagine having more than that. So you could have your maximum minimum range, or you could have a fixed amount, but you have some kind of pattern with money. Now what you want to understand is that what is it made of. So the first thing is what it is. You can tell in the number, you can tell in the maximum and minimum. The second stage is what is it made of. Okay, and when you talk about what is it made of, the question is that there are codes, like, there's a program made of codes. There are different coding. They're made of different codes, right? And those codes are now embodied in your body. They're not even just a mindset thing. It's a identity body level thing. So in my programs, in Wealth Fountain and Bottomless Bank Account, what I get my clients to do is to see how their body is communicating their money ceiling, how those codes are revealing themselves, because our body is the great wisdom, is the great awareness. We don't tap into it enough. We are so focused on the mind. Okay, so any idea that you stay with it for a while, and then you start to really feel it, and you start to really become it, that becomes who you are. That's in your body, that has gone past mind. That's why when you wake up in the morning, you don't think, do I brush my teeth today? You just get in that autopilot. It's in your body. Your body does it. It doesn't even ask you, right? It remembers that behavior. It's an unconscious behavior now. So you check with your body. Now, the income ceiling reveals itself in different limitations and limiting beliefs and limiting identities in your body. Now, starting with throat, right? Are you really saying what you want to say? Do you really express yourself fully? Or you try to dim your light? That is income ceiling, your income ceiling revealing itself through your throat. When you start to feel this tightness, when you talk, you feel nobody's going to understand. If you are a coach or a teacher or consultant, and you are saying, I cannot say what I really want to say because nobody would understand. What if people don't like me? What if it doesn't land for people? What if it doesn't make me enough money? So you start to really dim yourself and start to say what works instead of what you really want to say, what your true, authentic expression is. And that's where the money is, because that's who you really are. So who you really are is your most authentic self, always, okay? And your most abundant self. Your most abundant self is what you are born, is who you really, really are. Okay, so what you really want to say will give you the most money, because that's a match for the most money, because that's a match for your natural, most authentic, most abundant self. But when you feel this tightness, you are feeling like, I cannot say what I want to say. I will say what I'm told to say, what will work, what my coach told me to say, right? Or it could be with other people. It could be with receiving love, receiving relationship. It just doesn't have to be with money. It could be with so many things. So your throat is telling you where you're dimming your expression. Hence, your income ceiling is expressing itself in your expression. Okay. Then it's your heart. A lot of times when you desire something, and when you're taking that step, or when you're making that move and you're betting on yourself, you will feel a sensation in your heart. You will feel a kind of a sensation which is like resistance, which is telling you, and this is a very clear sensation, which tells you you do not love yourself enough. So for instance, if you're saying, I'm going to go and charge that prices, but then you have this sensation in your heart, it's showing you, I'm literally doing that because I don't love myself enough. So I'm literally hesitant to do that, because if you're feeling the tightness in your throat, it's to do with expression. If you're feeling the tightness in your heart, it's to do with the love for yourself, right? And with everything, if you feel something in your heart, it is always the lack of love, the lack of worthiness, right? Then we come to our just under our rib cage, right? It is a lot to do with confidence. So when you're making those bold moves, when you're thinking those bold thoughts, when you're saying, you know what, I'm gonna go all in, I know who I am, and you feel that like hesitance, you feel this resistance, it's showing you that there is a lack of confidence, there's a lack of knowing of your own power. Because confidence is not what we're told traditionally, that if you're outspoken, you're confident. Confidence is how much you're aware of your own power, right? So you will feel that. So actually, your body is communicating to you how your income ceiling is controlling you in every aspect, because all these things, all these codes become your income ceiling. They make the whole ceiling. Then we come to sacral, okay? With sacral, if you are it really impacts your receiving. So if you are receiving guidance, if you're receiving intuition, but you're not sure, or if you have got an idea and you're not sure, or if you're stuck, what is my next step? What am I supposed to do? You will feel the feeling in your sacral. That means you don't trust yourself. That means you don't trust that you can receive. You don't trust that you can create big things. You don't trust that you can receive a lot. So it is the sacral is the creation, is the attraction, is the love, is the sex, where you receive. It's the womb of creation. So you receive from that place, and then you can make it big. Because what happens in the creation, you receive the cell and you turn it into a baby, right? In the sacral. So, and that is for women, but also for men, the sacral is where you receive, and where you really receive guidance, your feminine receiving. And it is equally same for women, but for men, right? They receive, right? But when you have a sensation here, that means you're not allowing, that there's a block there. You don't think you can. You don't think you're good enough for that, right? And if you have it in your back, that means you're not supported. So you don't feel that there is enough support available to you. You feel you have to do everything on your own. So all these things is where your income ceiling is revealing itself to you, right? And all these codes make up your income ceiling. That's why in my programs, I don't just do the mindset work. I really help you see the body identity level, where it's stored in your body. Because if you're just doing the mindset work, you're missing the 98%, the deep work, where your body is actually showing you where you have become a match for that income ceiling and how we smash it. But if we don't access the 98% where it all is and just talk to the mind, it doesn't work. That's why you say, okay, I'm trying to visualize. I don't know why it's not working. It's not working because your throat is tangled. You are not trusting yourself to receive. Your confidence is a bit shaky. You don't love yourself enough. You're not supported. So of course, you're not going to operate on that frequency, right? So it is really important when we do this money energetics, it's identity. And in my programs in Well Fountain, we go really deep in that. And we do identity diagnosis method, where we go really deep, uncovering your identity at a body level, uncovering your identity with money, uncovering your relationship with money, uncovering your mindset with money. It's so deep, because you cannot change your money frequency until you know what it is. And the third level, which is how to change it. So in order to change it, one of the advice that I really want to give you, which is the final layer of the onion, which is like at a third level, right? In order to change your money frequency, there's a very powerful advice that I want to give you. And it's very, very, very harsh. But the advice is get out of your own life. What do I mean? Get out of my own life. What I mean is you are in your life. That's why you cannot see it from the outside. You're operating in it. You're in it. You cannot see the blind spots. You cannot see how you're showing up. So for 1 or 2 days, I tell my clients to get out of your life, okay? And you start to look at yourself and say, okay, what would I absolutely love if there were none of these limitations existed? If whatever I knew is not true, that's just an illusion. What would I absolutely love? Am I playing all crazy, all wild? Am I going all in? Am I going all crazy? Am I really playing the game that really I want to play, right? Because a lot of times what you're also doing is you are playing from fear of not to lose. You're playing from this restriction, from what should I do? How can I manifest, right? Instead of playing from love. So the absence of love is not hate, it's fear. So instead of letting your heart wide open to the things that are available, to your expression, to you going all in, going crazy in your life, achieving big things, just playing without even thinking about losing, just saying, you know what, I am an important person, and I'm gonna go all wild and really go for what I want. I'm playing with my heart open. I'm gonna allow myself to go fully all in. I'm gonna go with love, since love is the most powerful frequency. So you're not constricted. You're not frozen. I love this song by Madonna, and I don't even know what it means, but I love when she said that you're frozen. The song is called Frozen. Your heart is not open, right? It's like you are so worried to lose. You're so worried. You're so focused on not to lose. Instead of saying, you know what? I love this so much. I'm going all in, and I don't care. I don't care. My love is so strong for what I want, for my desire, for myself. I love me. I get to say what I want to say. I get to experience myself. I get to express myself fully. I get to be who I really am. This is me, right? From the true, purest place. When you do that, and then you ask yourself, who do I need to be? Who am I really am? And as you uncover these blocks, as you uncover, what your body is telling you, what your mind is telling you, uncover all these ideas and your thoughts, you start to say, what is the real me? And you release them. You release them with love. You release them with lots of grace. You release them without judgment. And you say, I get to be me. And then you start replacing them with the new ones. Okay? And the way you do it is you say, okay, what if I believed that earning money was easy? How would it feel? So you go in the feeling. When you go in the feeling, you reprogram your neurons, you reprogram your mind, you reprogram, since you have now released from the body, you reprogram your mind, and the new idea implants in your body. So by feeling, you rewire your mind, and you impregnate your body with that idea, and you become the match. If you don't do this, right, and if you just keep saying, I want more money, yes, you want more money, but it's in your logical mind. It's not embodied. It's not who you are. So when you really tap into your truest, wildest, most unapologetic, craziest expression, you become a match for a lot of money. You become a match for all the abundance. And at that time, this idea of having more than enough than you know what to do with is so normal. It's not far-fetched. It's not impossible. The idea of just creating as an artist, it's not even about money anymore. It's about, I just create because I'm wild. I just create because of who I am. I just create because it's so much fun. So I was watching the keynote by so I attended NVIDIA, which is the fastest growing company, have gone bigger than Microsoft and Apple, the company, fastest growing company on the planet. I was listening to their CEO. We attended their annual event. I was listening to their CEO, Jensen. And when he was talking about the products they're launching, when he was talking about the technology, when he was talking about what they're building, he was coming from this trailblazer energy, from this wildest energy. I would love to see this, I build this. I would love for the world to have this, I build this. So all the things that he was creating and he was talking about, he was madly in love. So being an identity coach and really being able to scan his identity, what I really inferred was that he was madly in love with what he was creating. He was audacious. He went all in. He was audacious. He went all in. He wasn't worried about trying not to lose. He wasn't worried about enough. He's an artist. He was like, I want this. I want the world to experience this. Let's build it. Let's build the most powerful GPU. Let's build the supercomputer and make it so accessible to people. But all because of going unleashed, wild, and falling in love with his vision and falling in love with being an artist and not coming from this scarcity or just enough or just hitting the income goal or just that, letting yourself lose and doing what you really want to do, saying what you really want to say, expressing yourself, creating what you really want to create. And that's when you step into the identity of the trailblazer, the artist who is unmatchable, who has no comparison, who has no competition, who are a masterpiece of their own. And that's when you become who you really are, which is the greatest gift, more than attracting billions of dollars. Plus, attracting billions of dollars become a bonus.